Hey guys, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, March 31st. It is 2 o'clock right now. I got this one-on-one mentoring session with Arik, so I'm going to finish setting up this room real quick, and then Arik should be in this room pretty shortly. Send him the link already, so just waiting for him to hop in. Room set up. Just gonna wait for Arik to hop in here. Should be coming in shortly. Let me send this link over here. Hey Arik, how's it going?
It's going, big dog. Mr. Cabo.
Doing good, man. How you doing? You did pretty good today. Look like profits are nice.
Yeah, yeah. It was a fight that I took the breakout. I got in trouble, but I just followed all of your, is it called V1 trade?
Oh, the NPS V2. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's nice. Yeah. So yeah, the breakout today it was kind of choppy. It shot up a little bit and came right back down, but that's kind of how it is with the breakout sometimes. It's not always gonna play out as smoothly as we like.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't trip. I just stayed in the pocket.
Yeah, you played in the pocket, you did great. I mean, looking at your profits for the day, you did, let's see, I think your profits were right here. Yeah, you did pretty solid. Thousand, a little over 2,000 for the day. So you did pretty good overall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Arik. So let's see. What did you want to cover today? I know you had a couple questions. Want to make sure like we're gonna cover everything that you wanted to go over and stuff.
All right, big dog. Okay, this is what I got. Uh, just like I said, to be transparent, I was doing the micro scalps like the first 3 days. Mentally, if we go over the micro scalps on a still chart, that means it's not active or we're going back over in time. Uh, in From what I see, I can't see the candle movement of what happened. So in my mind, because I've been trading for a while, so now I done graduated enough to know because I thought this worked and then it didn't work once I did real time repaints and all that other stuff. But I was intrigued with the microscop because I thought a momentum was going to give me those 21 points almost every time. So with the break even, but I kind of got into a mental block because sometimes it's a different from a runner and a true runner. A runner, you're going to get a long trend or long run of green candles. You're going to get a long run of red candles. But a true runner means there's no kickback. There's no, for the setting that you gave me, the 111, that's only for those particular times when the candle is really running, where it's not going to rock back on me. And the first 2 days, first 3 days, I didn't even know how I was making money. I was following your directions to the T. And Mr. Shrevey, whatever the guy that wins a lot,
Yeah, sure.
he I, I started to get deep and tried to mimic what I'm thinking he's doing. And it worked like the first 2 days. And then I got in chop or consolidation or where I would put the pending order at the end of a wick that probably wasn't after the momentum candle or right after pullback or right after what you instructed me to do. Now, from the videos inside Kodi Kai trade, you done modified the micro scalp versus what's in the video to what you showed me maybe last month or the beginning of the month. It's like you saying every one of them, you can basically take all of them. But then you said, well, no, it's best to take one doing per momentum thing. So I got off, and what I'm trying to do is, you wasn't the first one that got me when I was learning how to trade. It was a guy named Yandros, and he totally messed me up with all these indicators and strategies and all this other stuff. And so I was damaged goods once you got me, but you got me on track past my first FTML account. So what I'm saying is, once I left the strategy that you gave me, the initial strategy, it's like I'm kind of veering away from it because for two reasons. If I don't catch that true runner, that means I can go through a significant amount of time of not getting that trade. What made me attracted to it, I can be over with and done with in a short amount of time because of what I'm dealing with working with special needs kids or special needs people at the moment. So because what I find out today, I made that money in the doctor's room because I went over. Uh, I had to go see the doctor, bad connection, whatever. But I was fighting for my life, and I got them done. I need something from you. I need a suggestion from you after the call. Think about it, maybe after Cabo or whatever it is. But what can I do? Not because of laziness, not because my attention span is short. I got ADD or whatever. Is for my current situation, I can't very much monitor what I have to do live because technically I was supposed to be off during this time. That's why I took this gig versus the pest control. And I was supposed to be free. So if we waited a whole 5 hours for the trade, I hope not, I would be able to wait. But now I'm finding myself walking away, whatever, whatever. Don't touch this, don't touch that. And it's really long term because I'm trying to make this long term. The microscope, some of the people that came on and asked me questions about the microscope, some of the questions I had the same concerns about because, but you and I have already talked about this. You're going to get a lot of break even or a lot of small wins. But after those two losses, not doing exactly what you told me, mentally, it pulled me off of it. And I did see some significant, even the ones I took with pending orders, the initial the leader account had a significantly gap between the follower accounts. So I said, damn, I only got 4 of them and they're already tripping. If you notice, I'm only doing 1 account, maybe 3 accounts, sometimes 1 every now and then because I'm starting to see what you're saying. The reason why you can't trade a lot of them because of the lag time of the copier getting them in. So from whatever you got so many strategies. Help me find one, or do I just take your trades? This is the problem mentally that I'm having, not you, not Kodi Kai trades. When you go over your past of your wins for the month, maybe it's a month, but you got these little, maybe you can pull those squares up right now. There's a lot of green squares and there's a few red squares on the losing days, and there's a lot of black squares. For a person that's been trained to work for another company or person, I'm trying to break into, pretty sure kind of like you was when you was an attorney. You go to work to make money. So I'm trying to break this thing that there might be days where I don't make money. Mentally, I think you got that down pat because you may make so much. Whenever you do, you receive the benefit of knowing whenever I do pull the trigger, I got to be careful and take those A+ setups. So it makes you take less trades, but they're powerful. However, if I don't have as many 300K accounts as you got or whatever, I'm trying to get the numbers down on your estimation of what you was going to do was 100K. You did 200K this month. Cool. I'm trying to find out on an average month, even during the summer when the market is crawling, because what I find out is when my strategy doesn't match my desire, which is not that much, 6K a month, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm acting a fool, but it's like on those days where there's no trades and I look at the green, I'm trying to figure out stuff that I haven't got to that point yet. And I'm killing either a strategy or I'm killing a possibility to be free because I'm looking at the numbers and I really don't even know the numbers. Kodi Kai trades is beautiful because you give me the numbers. You told me in the past, hey, you shouldn't do a 50K because it's not going to be enough money. You shouldn't do a 25K. You need to do a 100K account because of taxes or whatever. Since you done been there, you done done that. Um, I'm trying to get you to diagnose what I need to do. Maybe just follow your trades because I came back on a losing day from the breakout, and I just followed every trade that you didn't take, and you took the last one, beautiful trade, and I got back in the green. However, I know these are a lot of questions. I'm just rambling. This is the main key that I'm having trouble with. I would take every trade that you take, but those black days where you don't take one, it's fucking me up a little bit. Meaning mentally, how do I justify that hour, that 2 hours that we're on, and I didn't make any money? That's my issue, not yours, not the company. I have to know that you're going to be profitable 99.9% of the month, every month. But it's like I want to take those trades because when they win, I like, damn, I should have took it. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you do the same thing. So diagnose me, tell me if I'm going crazy. And the numbers, if I'm trying to make enough to withdraw, we get a chance to withdraw 3 times per month. But I think a lot of people, when they do pass an eval, they don't know their numbers. They don't even know how much money they got to make before they can withdraw because they're focused on passing so much. So I'm trying to I have withdrawn several times, but I'm trying to make this a lifelong. Uh, I don't want to work anymore. So I'm done talking. I'm gonna listen to you. But some of the things that I stated is mental blocks that I got that I came off of the micro scalp and did the double trade uh, to get the counts because purchasing a lot of counts don't bother me. That if I blow them, I blow them. The goal is to pass, then follow a consistent trader. And that's what I think God has steered me into doing until I can take it on myself and maybe just buy the indicators and take my own trade. That's it.
yeah. No, and I agree with you 100%, Art. Like, the microscope, like you said, you have to take those trades to the point where, you're gonna have a lot of break evens, you're gonna have a lot of small profits until you get that one that's a true runner, like you said. But it's hard because they're not always gonna happen that way. Sometimes you're gonna take a couple trades here and there, and then you might not even ever hit that full runner. So it's always gonna play psychological games with your mindset, especially when you're taking those trades on multiple accounts. I think you started to notice that, it's a little difficult when there's that lag between the accounts. So it's hard to do with multiple accounts. I mean, if you're doing just one account, it would be a little easier. But, like you said, you want to trade multiple accounts so you can make more money off that. So I think my main advice to you, if you want something that's consistent, like something that I'm personally doing, you can just stick to the MPS V2. Like you said, the MPS V2 came up today about 6 times, right? We took pretty much damn near all of them, and I only took one of them today. So I think if you want to follow this specific strategy, this is easy to learn, right? Like this strategy is not super super difficult, especially when you have the tools. And I think you just got to make a choice whether you want to take. You got to make a choice whether you want to be conservative or if you want to be aggressive. Because once you make that decision, you can either take the only best setups like what I do. Because if you look over here at my stats over here, Art, for the like you mentioned, all the green boxes, these are just one trade. So I took one trade pretty much every day. So I just waited. There was like 5 or 6 trades that maybe came up, and I only took one trade. So so when you decide whether you want to do, if you want to just take one really good trade or if you want to take all of them, that's where you kind of make the decision where you want to increase your contract size or keep it like kind of moderate. Like for example, today you took all 6 trades here. For me, I'm taking about 15 contracts, right? So I'm doing 15 contracts, and when I hit that profit, I'm making about $2,000. So if you wanted to take every trade instead of just one, you can just lower your contract size to something a little smaller, like 5 contracts. So 5 times 5 times 30, you'll be making about 750, right? So 750 times 6 trades, you would have made more profit than I would have for just one trade. So you see the difference here, Art? Like the main difference here is once you choose whether you want to be conservative or whether you want to be aggressive, you can either lower your contract size and take every single entry that comes up, whether it's risky or not, or you can just focus on the one that I'm taking and go heavy on your contract size and just aim for that one trade per day. So what do you think would fit you better, Art? Because your psychological the way you see things, do you think you're better off taking more like every trade that comes up, or are you able to control yourself and just focus on that one trade, that one really good trade? Because
Well,
once you make that decision, you can choose.
well, the psychological part that I'm trying to trade every day because I'm thinking I can make more. I mean, every trade because I can make more money. It's not the psychological whether I can take or whether I lose my mind and go to revenge trading. It's just the clients that I'm dealing with may do something off the wall and pull me away from the PC. Maybe I need a headphone set, a wireless headphone set. So because you do a very good job at per se walking us up the to the starting line, meaning it don't pop up, hey, get ready to take a buy, bump up. You like it looks like we're about to have on here a whole minute go by. Okay, we got a momentum, we got this. So that'll give me enough time to get there. So I'm thinking I would rather take one. That's why I went to the breakout and not just the not cause the breakout kicked my ass today. That's not the point. Because I've been trading long enough where I'm not scared. It's just I don't even know how to trade the breakout. I don't know what lot size. I'm kind of winging it. If you watch the video I sent you of my trade, I didn't even have a stop loss. I didn't have a take profit or stop loss. So as I get closer to my goal, which is the 300K, I think I got like five more thousand for one, and maybe another one for 150K. I'm trying to find out the numbers, meaning, okay, you told me 5 lots because I was really thinking 4 was too many. So if I go 5 and I lose, I'm okay with the loss. And the numbers meaning how many losses should I take a day? Because I heard you told Mr. Barack, you told him, hey, look like you're having a session, take a deep breath. You might need to shut down for the day and clear your mind. You don't think I'm listening, but I'm listening to you. So it's the numbers of when to stop, the numbers, even if I'm up. If I'm up 2K, shut it on down and go sit my ass down somewhere. And I like it. Whatever you got to do, if you got to curse me out, drag me, kicking, or whatever you got to do, get me on this consistency. And I would rather do one trade, but sometimes I see you get, when you couldn't take the trade the other day, or when everybody win and you might wait for your win and you took yours at the last one, and then you lose yours for your A1 set up. So I said, damn, even Sean goes through a little bit of anxiety. So I guess the safest way for me not to blow this account and to make continuous money, that's the choice I want. But not because of my mental. It's because I have to stay active because I got to deal with these people until somebody relieve me when I'm here.
Gotcha. Yeah. So if that's the case, then I think you should probably just stick to the MPSV2 that I take, because I'm always looking for those perfect ones, like those perfect entries, like what we waited for today. There was like no red flags, everything kind of pointed in our direction, and we took it. So I think if you want to keep up your consistency and you want to have that confidence that the trade is going to be a good trade, I would just stick to the ones that I'm taking. So like you said, you might just need a headset to be paying attention, and sometimes when your clients might be doing something and it might take your attention away from the screen. Um, I think that's probably the best option because the breakout works well, but for me personally, I don't really like the breakout as much because you don't really have much control over that position. You enter it and then it's like you either win or you lose, but you don't really have any confluences to kind of point you in that direction. The breakout was good last week. So last week the breakout won, I think, four out of the 5 days. So that was pretty good. If you want to just take the breakout, like you said, I think So there's two different things. There's the breakout would work good for you because of your job in the morning and your schedule, because you can just take that entry and then be done with. But I don't think the there's gonna be some times where there's gonna be a lot of losses, right? And that's gonna mess with your head. Like sometimes you're gonna have some back-to-back losses, and that's gonna kind of throw you off. So I think your better option would just to be sticking to the trade that I take, right? Because if you took all the trades that I took, you wouldn't take as many trades. But looking over here at the calendar, like you talked about earlier, you would have all these winning days, maybe one losing day. You'd have some kind of black boxes here where I didn't take any trades, but you got to think back to when you don't have a loss, that's better than having no trade, right?
Mhm.
So for me personally, like if we did all the math for today or for this month, let's see. So I took, and this trade over here, I don't know if you were trading with us on the 17th. This trade actually won, but it lost because I was on a different contract. But looking at this here, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we had basically 11 divided by 13. The win rate for this month was about 84.6%. So that's a pretty good win percentage for a month, right? We only had 2 losses and then 11 wins. So I mean, if this is something that you think would satisfy, what you're looking for, I think this could be the thing that you want to focus on. You just got to increase your contract size. So depending on your account size, we can kind of determine what your contract size should be. Um, and then I can probably break it down for you.
Well, then I think my 300K is gonna pass first, and then I got a 150K coming right after that one. But I'm about to get two more 300K. So, um,
Okay, so
now, do you think mentally I can take a loss with a 15 contract size?
you're probably not going to take a 15 contract. You might take the 15 on the 300K, but on the 150K, you'll probably take something a little less. But yeah, I mean, if you understand that the losses are going to happen because the losses are going to happen, it's inevitable, right? You can't. You're never going to be 100% as much as you'd like. Even myself, right? I still get upset sometimes when, like for example, on this 17th when I took this loss, this trade won, but I lost because of like some technicality. The losses are going to happen. So I think you gotta train yourself to understand that sometimes you're going to have to either take a smaller win or you're going to have to accept the loss if it does happen. Like for example, you can see the profits on these days are kind of different. Like on the third over here, we had to like change things up because something was happening on this day, so I didn't get my full profit. Usually on a full profit day, it's going to be about 56,000. But you can see a lot of these days I got like partial profits because we had some slippage or the volatility was too low. Like for example, the volatility for today was kind of low, it was like 25 ATR. So on this entry over here, even though it did hit the full TP, I brought my TP down a little bit, so my profit wasn't as much. So I think if you can teach yourself and train yourself to understand like, the losses are going to happen, I think you should be fine.
Uh,
So.
uh, that you said something with the 56K, you kind of average around for 56K. Uh, if if I heard right, right? So that's the total
Yeah,
for
so yeah, if I was to get a full move, it should be around closer to this, closer to like 50, 60K around there. You can see like most of these days, I didn't get a full move. I got basically a partial move because what happened a lot of times is like it would close out for one account and then the copiers wouldn't reach the target. So I would have to either close out early or I would just move the stop loss and profit a little closer. So
okay. So
yeah.
so this is with 20 accounts.
This is with 27 accounts. Yeah, 27. So I got 20 Apex accounts. I've got 5 Tradeify accounts. I got one Purdy account and then one Take Profit Trader. They're all
Okay.
firms.
Okay, cool. So what I'm asking is for a person that got two accounts
Hmm.
and he's trying to make a withdrawal. At first, I was thinking I was trying to play devil's advocate and say, hey, I want to withdraw twice a month. I know they said you can withdraw three. In a perfect world, just give me two.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing with that, Mark, is that like for me, even myself, I'm only withdrawing. I'm making payout requests maybe like twice a month, or maybe even sometimes once a month. Uh, on a really good month, then I'll take 3. But for the most part, I never do 4 per month because it's just not really. If you do the math, it's not really possible because you gotta have 8 days in between each request, right? So for example, if you're trading March 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like one payout period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's two payout periods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could really only get two payout periods during the month because you could request a payout every 8 trading days. And and you can't, you can't it's just impossible. There's not enough days to trade to get more than three at max. So I think you should just like you got to understand that it's not going to be possible for you to get four. So getting one or two is good enough for the most part. It'll carry over to the next month. But the main goal is really to have consistent green days because you want to have a green day. Like for example, for me, I don't really care if I get the full profit, partial profit, or break even, or not even a trade. My main goal is really not to have these red days, right? Because the less red days I have, the more profit I'm going to make. Like for example, for March, I made 238,000, right? That's because I didn't have very many red days. I had two red days. You look over here in February, I had three red days, so my profits are a lot less, right? You go over to January, um, well, if I show all of them here, so all of January right here, I had two red days, and my profit was, or go back over here. So in January, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days, and you can see my profit was a lot less, right? So I think you got to get into that mindset where you just want to have either green days or black days. Basically, green days where you have profit or black days where you have no trade. Because the less red days you have for the month, the more profit you're going to make.
Okay. So looking at what I see, can you rewind back when your money wasn't long as train smoke? Right now, you got money longer than train smoke, right? So, but can you go back to the well, even as an attorney, you probably had money. Just go to somebody just trying to make a living where they don't have to work anymore.
Mhm.
Uh, what's the desired amount of 300Ks, 150 that a person need to make?
Uh, I mean, for me, it's not really about the money, right? So I don't really care about the money. It's about closing the month green. So for me, whether it's 200,000, whether it's 100,000, whether it's 10,000, I live a pretty modest life. I don't live anything crazy. So for me, it doesn't really require me to make this much. For March though, I just had a really good month because we didn't have very many losses. But putting it in perspective, you just got to think about like what are your expenses, right? Well, how much money do you really need every month to live comfortably? And it's not really that much. You factor in your mortgage, your rent, whatever it may be, your necessities and stuff like that. I would say it's about, a couple $1,000, like, 10,000 max at that to live a pretty modest life where you don't have to, or it's gotta be probably more than 10,000 for you to, or I don't know. I
Well,
guess you
yeah, I
gotta,
mean, yeah, everybody lives in a different area, whatever the taxes is, whatever. But I'm just trying to bring home a consistent 6K.
okay.
But I guess what scares me, not scare me, what I'm concerned is the black days and the red days, what I push and what I go to shooting, acting crazy and over leveraging, which I know that's up to me. I gotta stay disciplined. I gotta do according to my trading plan. But I'm trying to make sure that sometimes the master doesn't see the student for at the level at where they are or what their might needs may be. Meaning, I know you stated you really don't know. What I'm trying to say is that my dream was $1,000 a day. I'm like, come on, come on. And so then when I start seeing the black day, I said, man, how can I make this $1,000 a day? Well, you can't because you can lose some days too. So, and I was just thinking about red and green, but I never thought about the days not getting a trade. So, uh, I just didn't want to press because I'm trying to meet a payout date or I'm trying to do this or do that. So if you had to do it now, but I'm just asking what, okay, for 300K, I think you said I need to be shooting a five and and I need to have the take profit and the stop loss set versus me dragging them because I really don't know that because I've been doing the micro scalping, the crazy stuff like the double trade. But I think that's the best way to do it. Do I got ADD? Yeah. So when you go through about an hour and not getting that trade, I'm like waiting for your trade because yours is the most consistent. But I get so pissed off because I see Deborah Rock and I keep shivering just taking them or doing whatever they do. and I know you said you can't worry about what everybody else is posting, you got to stay on your plan. But I mean, maybe it's to take all of them and just lower my contract size. But you told me to take yours and raise it up and go high. I'll do that. I think with my psychological part of it, I'm a shooter. All of them may be better and just lowering it so I'm staying active so I'm not just sitting there. I don't know. But I gotta work that out. I gotta think about that. But I think you're right. The V1 is it. I thought it was the breakout, but the breakout scared the hell out of me today. So um I think that's it. I don't I just have to and what course name is that in the course? So at least I can start going over it. Has it been modified since you put it inside the course, or is it pretty much because I think I know it because I thought you was calling it a pullback or something. It was called something else or something that Mr. Barack was doing. But
Yeah,
is that the same thing?
yeah, it's the same thing. It's the one that Brock came up with. I just made a little changes to it. It's going to be under module 5 in the course.
Module
If you
five.
go over here to module 5, it's going to be a 6.0 right here. It's going to be Momentum Pullback Scout V2. It's short version of it is MPS V2. That's pretty much all I take. So from let's look back at my stats. So my stats over here, I started taking that strategy from January 20th up until today, right? 31st. So if you do that right here, you can see from my overall stats. So I've only taken the MPS V2, and if you look over here at my trades, you can see I basically took like one trade a day. So every day in March, I took basically one trade. When I did take a trade, same with February, I only took one trade, maybe two trades. Um, Same with January over here, I took only like about one trade. So if you look over here at my stats, these are my total profits for the year so far with only the MPS V2. I lock in 387,230 gross. And you can see over here, like this is how the profits went up, right? So this is why I was saying like you should be focusing on having those green days or black days. You want to avoid the red days as much as possible. Because you can see over here, you see it starts from the bottom right here, basically zero. It goes up a little bit, and then you can see when it goes up a little bit, that's when I have a green day. When it goes flat, that's when I have a black day. When it goes back up, I got a green day, one losing day right there, another losing day right there, and then it climbs back up. So you can kind of see how this kind of climbs up a little bit. And when it starts to go flat, that's because I have the black day, right? So your main goal is really not to have red days because you don't want this to be going down very much. If you can just keep this consistent, like you said, you want that consistency. If you're able to do this every month and just have consistent growth to the upside, that's like a paycheck to you, right? It's like you're following your job, like if you're working a normal job, because that's kind of what you want.
Yes,
Um,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with the 300K for that example right there, and was those months there was those black days just no trades? Okay, so
yeah, the black
what
days were just no trade. So for the most part, it's yeah, like I'd rather have a black day than a red day. I'm aiming for green days or black days, basically either one trade or no trade. And if I do take a trade, I want to make sure that that trade is actually going to hit.
so with a 300K, we don't know what we'll make, but what is the guesstimate of what you'd have made on that month right there?
For
Just with one, not with your 50s, not with all with
all
block
the
account.
accounts. Okay, yeah, we can do the math. So let's do the math right here. So basically, we'll do. So for today, I made 41,580. Right? We'll divide that because there was 27 accounts that were traded. We'll divide that by 27. Basically, I made about 1,540 for a 300K, or yeah, by a 300K account. Probably more, but this is because not all my accounts are 300K. So I got 300K accounts for Apex, but my Tradeify, the max accounts that they have on there are 150K. And then for my Perdia, I think I have a 100K account because that's the max account. And then for my Take Profit Trader, I got a 150K account. So it's probably a little more than this because at 300Ks, I'm taking a bigger contract size. Here, let me see. I think I posted my profits here. Yeah, so I locked in about 1,800. Basically, these 20 accounts up here, these are all Apex. And then you can see the smaller profits are down here. This is Tradeify. This is Perdia. and this is take profit trader. So these accounts are smaller. These are like 100K accounts or 150K accounts. And then for my 300K accounts, this is what I locked in, about 1,700, 1,800 average.
And it looks like you got them calibrated where that you don't where that it'll take less out of the smaller account or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make a, well, yeah, the contract sizes are fixed. So I'm taking about 15 contracts here on the Apex, and then I'm taking a smaller contract size on these other accounts over here because the risk is a little different.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was 11. If you take away the two losses that I seen was a two, that's
Yeah.
right around what I'm trying to do, which is 9K. And I'm trying to see how much taxes and how much they're gonna profit split, whatever. But for the first month, I think they don't do the profit split. I'm just trying to get my mind right. So 9K, that's a good living.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a certain amount of accounts, so you can make pretty good amount. Just take so like what I said, your main goal is really to have those green days because if you have those green days, you're gonna have more cushion to have a red day. Like if I was to have a red day, I would be okay with it because I'm already up so much. It's not gonna hurt me too much because I already know if I win the next day, then I'll make it right back.
Okay. And then you don't have no numbers of what the comparison of all the other trades that you call and people take all of them. It may not have a better win rate, but do the quantity overtake the quality?
Yeah, yeah. Well, these trades are like less quality, of course. I took this one over here. This was like my main one, of course, because everything lined up for this one. But everything else over here, the quality of these entries weren't so good because when you take a trade when it's risky, like for example, this one over here was at a red flag, so I didn't take it. It still hit, but if you're taking a lower quality trade, you're kind of taking a gamble there, right? Whenever I take an entry, I want to have I want to be super confident that it's going to hit. Like I want to know for sure or at least like at a very high percentage that trade is going to hit. So I don't have to worry about, taking a loss and then that becomes a red day for me. Because my rule of thumb is if I have a losing day, then I'm done for the day. Because usually if I lose a trade, it's usually going to indicate that, okay, the market's not doing what I need it to do and what I'm looking for it to do. And I should just sit out, take that loss for the day, come back the next day, and then bounce back. And that's kind of what you see over here. If you look over here at my calendar, right? Like if I have a losing day, I don't revenge trade or over trade or do anything else. I just take that loss and I'm like, all right, I'm okay with that. I come back the next day and I make it right back. Same with this over here, right? On Monday, I took that loss. Tuesday, I didn't really see anything, and then I took the trade over here on Wednesday and recouped some of those losses. So like my main mindset is really to um, I'm looking for one good trade. That's really what I'm looking for. So the way that I see things is I'm looking for one good trade, maybe two good trades if possible. But if I don't have a trade, then I'm okay with not taking anything at all. And I think that's kind of the mindset that you need to have too. You need to have to make sure that you're not chasing the money. You're really chasing the green days. Like you don't care about the money. You just want to make sure that you hit the trade. Because if you hit the trade, the money's gonna come, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's a winning day, you're gonna make profit either way. And you already have the number in mind. Like for example, if you're taking 15 contracts times 5 times 30, so if you win a trade, you're gonna make about 2,000. So you don't have to think about the number. You just take the trade, and if it wins, then okay, great, you made your couple of $1,000 right there per account. If you're to take a smaller contract size, you just gotta have that mindset that like don't look at the monetary value. Like don't really care if you're making 1,000, 2,000, 100, whatever it may be. Just focus on winning that trade. Because if you win the trade, you're gonna make profit either way. Like for me, I don't care if I made only 25 here and I made 56 here and I made 25 here. I'm okay with that because I know that if the trade hit, I'm gonna make some profit. It might not be the full amount, but I'm okay with that because it adds up. Like last week. See, last week over here, I took half trades or I went to half targets, but I still locked in 107,000 on that during that week. So
Beautiful, beautiful. So,
yeah.
so, so right there, Sean. That's you just said something about you take partials. Or I have a problem about letting it hit full TP. So
Mhm.
much so that I scale in because I feel it's gonna push up. And I'm thinking me scaling in is better, but that's all I'm gonna but then when it don't go my way, the loss is double. I also see you get out of trades if you don't like the momentum. I'm trying to tell you, I'll be watching your ass, man. You get out of that. Okay, then I'm just gonna take my losses and then go. So Uh, and then I got one more, and then I'm done. So, what did you feel about do we let them hit full TP or we look at the momentum of the candle?
So when you watch me on the live session, like you said, you're watching my thought process and how I'm seeing the chart. For me, I don't need to hit the full TP. If I'm aiming for that full TP and I have the confluences, like if everything is pointing in my direction, then I'll hold on to it. Like if I feel confident. That's what happened last week. So on this day, on the 26th, like this trade was taking a while to hit, right? It was like sitting there for a little bit, but I looked at my confluences and I knew that was going to hit. So I let that hit full TP. The thing with me is like I don't have like a big ego or a big head about that, right? I don't care if it's going to hit full TP or not. Like for example, if the trade is not working well, like for example, the entry for today, we entered right here and this thing was moving pretty slow. And then I saw the ATR over here was like it started to get smaller. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'd rather get some profit here than have it turn around on me and I have a loss. So yeah, hitting that full TP is not gonna, it doesn't bother me. So I don't need to hit full TP. Like you said, for you, you might feel the need to hit that full TP. But going back to what we said earlier, Arik, you want to keep a mindset that you want to have a green day, right? You don't want to have a losing day. Whether it's for half profit, a third of the profit, a full profit, it doesn't really matter. You just want to have a green day because those green days are going to add up. Even if you're just taking one trade, you have a green day Monday, like for example, we got a green day today. We have a green day tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and then, for whatever reason, maybe have a red day. You're going to have so many profits adding up together that you're probably going to close out the week still in the green. So,
And you don't get pissed off when there's 5 trades called and we didn't want all of them, and then and you waiting on that perfect trade. Mentally, you okay with that?
yeah, mentally, I'm okay because, like I said earlier, you got to choose whether you want to be conservative or if you want to be aggressive. If you want to be aggressive, that's perfectly fine. You just got to lower your contract size because so you have enough risk to take all the trades that come up. Okay, let's do this for example. So for today, 15 contracts times 5 times 30. If I just took one trade and it hit full TP and I let it run to full TP, I would have made 2,250, right? That's just one trade. There were 7 trades that came up today. So if you wanted to lower the contract size, say if I just did 5 contracts instead, because say, for example, I wanted to be aggressive today, if I did 5 times 5 times 30, then every trade that would have hit here would have locked me in 750, right? Times 7, I would have made more profit there, 5,000 instead of that 2,000. So that's where you have to kind of decide, do you want to be aggressive or do you want to be conservative? I already know my trading personality. For me, I already know aggressive doesn't work in my favor. Whenever I trade aggressive, it usually doesn't work out for me. So I'm better off just being conservative and waiting for that one really good entry than to take all of these other entries that are like okay, right? So it just kind of depends on you. Like if you feel that you want to take all of them, then just lower your contract size and take every entry that comes up like you did today. If in another case where you feel like you're better off just taking less trades and you're able to have that self-control, then you're gonna have consistent profits and you're not gonna have that worry that you're gonna be stressing about over trading or taking bad trades.
So for 150K, I need to be at a 5 contract.
Let's see. So on 150K, your risk on that, I think there we go. So your risk on 150K is 5,000, right? So let's see. You basically want to divide that by 3. And are you thinking about trading conservatively or are you thinking about trading risky? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking risky, but I gotta be then I'm trying to make a living, so it's gonna be conservative.
Okay, if you can stick conservative, then you should be taking a contract size of 10
On 150.
on 150K. Yeah, 10 contract.
And
So
then that'll give me how many bullets before
uh,
I blow it?
if you're gonna trade conservative, it's gonna give you 1 bullet. So you got 1 trade. But if you want to take more, you can just take a smaller contract size, right? Like we talked about right now. If you want to take more opportunities, then you just got to lower that contract size a little bit. You can take it with 4 or 5 contracts. If you just want 1 bullet, like me, this is like for me every day, I usually have 1 bullet, right? I'm going for that one shot that I think is going to hit, and I'm taking my max contract size risk on there. So I'm taking about 15 contracts because I know I'm only taking 1 trade for the day, maybe 2. If you want to trade two trades, then you just got to do the math again, right? So instead of doing 1,500, you're going to divide that by two, and you'll do 750. So instead of doing, if you want to take two trades, instead of taking a 10 contract, you're going to do a 5 contract. So you have two opportunities. If you lose that trade, you still got another one in the bullet in the chamber because you're able to run it back because
Okay, so
you didn't lose your full 1,500 for that one trade.
so how do I tell the copier to separate the 150 from the 300 with whatever numbers I tell it, or is that a whole nother subject?
Uh, so you're using Replicon, right? Same copier.
No, I got the one by Apex. I will have to send it to you to tell you
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, send me a screenshot of what your copier looks like, and I'll tell you what to put. You can put a fixed contract size, so like you can just put a specific contract size per account, and that's what I set mine to. It's yeah, just send me a screenshot of your copier, and then I'll tell you what it is because I could tell you what the settings are for that. You can just set a specific contract size so that every account will take a specific contract size, and it's not copying the same contract size to all the accounts.
Okay. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I really thought I was gonna get real deep into it, but you made it simple. You made it less stressful. Because I really love the micro scalp, but I think I started tightening up. I really started tightening up, and then I don't want to mislead uh anybody. Uh, but right now my goal is just pass. I'm about to see you the picture of it. Um, and I think that's it. They,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the better option. Like I think the micro scalp is good if you want to make quick profits, like if you're just wanting to make quick profits really quickly. But once you get funded, the micro scalp is going to be hard to get payouts because your consistency is going to be all over the place. You're going to have a couple of trades that have like break even, a lot of trades that have like small profits, and then if you get that big runner, um, Apex is going to tell you that your consistency is off. So I think you're making the better decision here to trade the MPSV2 because you're going to have consistent profits. All your profits are going to be about the same every single day. Like if you look at my profits here again, like my profits are usually around the same range. Like I'm not having a day where I have like break even and it's like zero or like a couple dollars and then I have a day where I'm making like 56. Because if that was the case, then I would probably get denied a payout.
Okay. And you don't have any numbers what it look like to be more aggressive but lower contract.
If you want to do that, you can just take a small, yeah. So depending on your account size, you just got to divide it by
By two.
basically, yeah, basically by, well, depending on how many trades you plan on taking. So if you plan on taking two trades, then you just divide your max risk by two. And I'll put it right here for you. So let's see, for your 300K account, divide that by three, 2,500, right? So right here for the 300K account, max risk, 2,500 per trade. And then for your other account over here, 150K, max risk per trade. And then I don't know if you care about the 50K account, but same thing here. Do you have 50K account or no?
No, that I had them and that I kept over pressing because I didn't know that I needed like 10 of them to really enjoy the payouts. Because I hated getting paid out because I'll be back in the same situation with no cushion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because when you're on the 50, so the 50K account is good when you just want to get your payouts right away. Like if you just want to get some payouts, the 50K account is great, but long term, you're gonna want to have something a little bigger because you're not really, I mean, you're gonna make a decent amount, but so if we divide that by three, 833 times 20. I mean, you can still make pretty good money on a 550K account. It's just, you're gonna want more eventually. So
So about 3 accounts was what I thought. That is that a good amount where I can do a
so
total?
yeah, so the 300K is cool, but it's gonna take a while for you to pass. You just gotta keep that in mind. If you're okay with taking about a month or maybe even 2 months to pass that 300K, in the long term, it's gonna be more beneficial to you because obviously you're gonna have more risk and your profits are gonna multiply a lot faster because you have more contract size to take. So if you're okay with that, you can hang for like, about maybe month, 2 months to pass that account. Once you get to that funded account, it's gonna make a whole lot of difference.
So
'Cause you
on so on one of my 300s, I'm at 15,000. Would you say I'm like a week or two away, or probably 2 weeks?
let's see. You're probably maybe a week or two away. Yeah, you're pretty close because if you keep taking the proper risk on that account,
Which is
right?
15,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If you want to do 2 trades per day, it'll be about actually it's gonna be a little less. Let's see this again. Yeah, so if you want to take 2 trades per day, you're gonna want to risk no more than 1,250 per trade. That's gonna give you 2 bullets, right? 2 bullets to take 2 shots per day. Um, like you could have 2 losses and you're still good. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that. That you're gonna take a smaller contract size, basically a 9 contract, I think,
A 9,
or no, a little less than that. So 8
like a
contracts.
7.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, about 7 or 8 contracts. It's gonna give you the ability to take two. You basically got 2 bullets. You can get hit twice before you got to call it a day.
Okay.
It's about seven or 8. So if you want to take more than one trade, take about 7 or 8 contracts, and then you should be good. Like for example, if you took all the trades today with an 8 contract, 1,200, times 7 for today, because 7 back-to-back wins, you would have made 8,400. You probably would have passed in one day, or you would have made the rest that you needed to pass that 300K account.
We did 7 wins today. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think there were 7, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins actually. So 6. So 1,200 times 6. It'd be 7,200. Because you took every trade today, right? You took all 6 of them, I think. Once.
no, that once I got up to like 9 to 800 on all the ones that I stopped. So I know how to stop.
Okay, you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But in the situation where you would have taken all of them, then yeah, that's how much profit you probably would have locked in. If you took every trade, because the thing is, you had 2 bullets in the thing, right? You never lost, so like none of these trades lost. So you would have just kept hitting and hitting and hitting until we got to the end over here. So it's not always going to be like this though. So you got to keep that in mind. It's not always going to be like this, but this gives you at least two opportunities to kind of hit it. So.
All right.
Yeah, it might work a little better for you that way. Let's see, you got your settings over here.
Yeah, well, did I just showed it to you so you'll know which one I got? Which one is that?
Hmm. Yours is a little different. I don't know if you can click on ratio over here. So if you can change ratio to fixed contract sizes, you can possibly make the changes. Because I'm using Replicano, so mine is a little different. It has like an option to change here. I don't know if you have that option to change this little where it says ratio up here.
No. Well, yeah, that I can click in each one of those number amounts right up on the ratio. Like
Uh,
one is 141, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, yours is a little different. So, on your 150K count, you could probably put a 0.5. So if you put 0.5, it's going to take half of the contract size.
Oh,
Yeah, because ratio means half of it. So like for example, if you're taking like say if you're taking 10 contracts on this one, if you're taking 10 contracts on your main account, if you put 0.5 on this one, it's going to take 5. It's going to take half.
but I would have to set it so each time that I open up my Ninja, I don't have to look at all my accounts.
Yeah, I think if you save the settings, like when you close out your Ninja, it should be on there already. Because I've used ratio before, but I don't like doing it that way because it's a little confusing. It's a little different. Because for mine, I can put fixed contract size, and then I just put the actual contract size I want. So I have like all of these at like 15, 15, 15, and then on my smaller accounts, I'll put them at 10, and then the smaller account I'll put it at like 6 or 7. So it's a little different, but yours is ratio, so you basically are just going to multiply whatever you want to be taken on this account here. So like if you wanted to do if you wanted to do half, you just put 0.5 there because it'll take half the contract size.
Okay. 10-4. And you don't think there'll be a problem in the summer? with the momentum dying down that we still be able to hit it?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a big difference because what we're gonna do in that situation, Ark, is we're just gonna lower we're gonna lower the TP stop loss. So the thing with this here is we're gonna be basing it off the ATR. So like, if the ATR is too low, like right now the average is about 30, right? Like during our live session time. If it goes down to like 20, then instead of going for the full, 30-30, then what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna adjust our contract size, put more contracts in, and then we're gonna go for a smaller target. Instead of going for that 30-30, we'll go for the 20-20.
Man, I got some. Okay, when when like you make it perfectly clear, you know, but when I get caught up where I don't know when you're gonna pull the trigger, you'll say you say some shit like unless this candle is real big and you don't hear me because we are mute. I'm like, come on, Sean, fucking tell me what's big, what's small, because that motherfucker moving.
Yeah,
It's
it moves.
moving. And then you say that I'm in or whatever. Now, the last time I was with K2 Kodi Kai, misunderstood you did the countdown and you didn't say, I mean, so I was trying to get in right when you came in because on the previous day, if you look at my results, I had a lot of $200. Well, I was waiting for you to say that I'm in, and that time you never said I'm in. So um, I know due to laws or whatever, certain things you may can't say whatever, but curse me out and tell me what am I looking for so I know exactly because I can see the counter close. I got a countdown thing that tells me. But it's like when it's iffy, hey, it got to be a big candle. I'm off on the entry when I was trying to mimic or try to copy those trades.
Yeah, yeah. Like today's entry was kind of tricky too because this candle was moving around a little too fast. I always go in with a 30-30. So like if I ever make the adjustments, I'll just make the adjustments once I'm in. But yeah, I mean it's like for something like that, we would have to like talk about that when the market's actually open and live because like you said, it's hard to show you when it's happening because right here it looks like a small candle, but when
And
the
then like you got money up too, so you trying to talk and trade and look at the same time. I totally get it.
yes, so for this right here, I mean basically when I'm looking for when I say a proper size candle, I want to see something like this right here, right? Something that doesn't have like something that's not super tight. Like I think something like this over here is going to be considered tight, this green candle, because it's, the body is so small. Usually I'm looking for something that has a full body, like whether it be for a sell, I look for a full body like that versus having something like this over here that's small. So yeah,
Okay.
it depends on the market because like for example, the entry for today that we took over here, these candles started getting really tight, and that was a problem, right? Because it didn't really have those bigger moves that we were looking for. Um, so it's just something you gotta train your eye to see. Like usually I'll put a line there and I'll say if this doesn't close up here, then I'm not gonna take it because I want it to actually be a little fuller than it was here. For this one, it was up there, and then at the last second it came down. So yeah, it's discretionary. It kind of just depends on like what's happening at that time in the market.
10-4. All right, man. I know I didn't broke the record for question.
No, you're good. All right. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully tomorrow or the next couple days this week, you're going to be uh, ready for those entries and you're going to be more prepared now that you have these contract sizes in mind. Um, moving forward.
All right, all right. Well, good luck in Cabo, Belize, wherever.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll be there. I'll be heading out tomorrow. So hopefully I'll get on the live session with you guys. I'm gonna try to get on my laptop at the airport. If not, I'll try to be on the Discord. So if you guys are looking at trades, I'll be there looking to see what you guys are doing.
And do you recommend me to stay my ass off if you're not calling? Because I'm not I'm not adverse with the what's it called, the V12 or the
Yeah, yeah, probably sit out of the market tomorrow if I'm not going to be on. You can be on the Discord, you can probably chat with the other guys because I'm pretty sure a couple of the other guys will be talking about it or calling entries and sharing screenshots. So you can meet up in the Discord in the team chat with them. But probably gonna be best for you to maybe sit out because you don't want to make any mistakes, especially if I'm not there to look out for you.
So 15 and then 7, but if I'm taking 2, cut them in half. I mean, I mean, I mean 10 and 5. I mean, 5 for a small and 15 for a big for the 300K. But if I'm doing twice, two of them, and not if I'm being aggressive, I need to cut them down to 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's cut them in half. Should be good.
10 for. All right.
All right, all right. It was good talking.